Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy my videos and I hope you enjoy this one. Today I want to talk about manifesting, the grand elusive art of manifesting what you want, and how you can tell if you are being a subconscious creator or a conscious creator. First of all, let me start with the basics. Your own personal deepest, darkest thoughts, plus how you truly feel about those deepest, darkest thoughts, equals your current reality. So, if, for instance, you are spending a lot of time thinking about money, and then your subconscious, deepest, darkest thoughts about money are focused on the lack thereof or the inability to get the money that you need, then you will be creating a lack of money. And this works with absolutely anything in your life. If you are focused on something and then you are feeling as if it won't happen the way you need it to or you want it to, then how you are feeling about it is going to be what manifests. If you are living from a space of feeling as if what you need is not going to be present, and you are operating from a space of lack, then you will be creating lack. So how do we become a conscious creator? How do we manifest what we want? How do we overcome our own doubt and our own fears? Well, I have for you my own way that I have learned how to do this. And here today I am about to see if I can put into words exactly how I do it so that you too can do it. So, a couple of months ago, I wanted to start up a healing business, and I needed a space to do it that was not in the middle of my living room, because I only had one living room and no other place in the whole entire house besides my living room in which to do healing services, and I had two roommates, and they were having a baby. So that was the end of that as far as being able to operate out of my living room. So I was looking for a place and looking for a place and looking for a place, and hoping that because of the fact that Spirit has called me and awakened my soul to reclaiming the healing that my soul was created to do, that this would just magically happen for me. It didn't. Well, not the way I wanted it to. So, I was looking for a place, and I was looking for a place, and had to stop doing healing services at all for about 2 months because I just didn't have any place to do it. And my roommates had their baby, and then they decided to move out and move to another town, which left me with a house that I could not afford to live in and pay rent and pay bills on my own. So I had to manifest quite quickly another place to live. And this happened right around the time of the new moon. It happened in June. Late May, early June, somewhere in there. So I had just at this time, not related to the story I'm trying to tell, but at this time had just discovered how to do new moon and full moon Reiki rituals. And since the new moon is all about learning how to manifest, or the ability of manifesting, that's when the energies of the moon work with you to manifest and to bring you what you need. I decided to sit down and write out a list of things that I wanted to manifest for my life. But I want to share with you here two really important rules here. Rule number one, as I have discovered, you cannot just manifest into your life anything that you want. It does not work like that. It has to be something that you need for your own personal soul growth, for you to be able to step fully into the power of your soul, to step into your divine God or goddess power, which is the core essence of the soul. And it has to be something that is for your own personal, highest possible good. So you can't go out and say, I'm going to manifest winning the lottery. Winning the lottery is not for your own personal highest good. It does not and is not going to make you be the best person that you can possibly be at this time. So we have to be very careful what we choose to try to manifest. We have to pick things that we really truly need in our lives that will help us become the best person that we can be and to step into our own soul's divine God or goddess power. Rule number 2. We have to be humble about it. We cannot be demanding. We cannot be like a pouty 4-year-old who isn't getting their way. We have to be appreciative of the things that we do have so that the universe will know that we are deserving of more. If you are not appreciating everything that the universe has already given to you, chances are good the universe is not going to keep giving you things. So, getting back to my story, I sat down and I wrote out this list of everything that I wanted to bring into my life so that I could live up to my own highest possible potential and bring in more love and light and joy and divine goodness into my life. And one of the things I needed to manifest at this time as quickly as possible was a new place to live. I sat down and I wrote out this list of things that my new place needed to have for me to want to move into it. Because I had just finished stepping into my own power, reclaiming my own life, and was trying to start up a healing business, and I needed a place to do it still. So, one of the things on my list was it has to have a space for me to do Reiki and to do crystal healings and all sorts of healing stuff and healing services. And number 2 on the list was it had to be affordable so that I could actually be able to live there on my own. Number 3 was it had to be close enough to work for me to be able to walk to work and back every day. So, rule number 3, there's a third rule I forgot to mention. Rule number 3 is after you've decided exactly what it is that you need for your own personal highest good, for you to be the best person that you can be, you have to go work at it. It's not the kind of thing where you can say, okay, well, I need a new place to live. It has to be affordable. It has to be close to work. It has to have washer and dryer hookups. And it has to have a place where I can do healing services. And then just sit on your ass. You have to get out there and you have to look for this place that you need. You have to exhaust every single possible resource that you have available to you to find this place. And for me personally, I ended up finding it on Craigslist. And in this month that I was looking for this new place to move to, I only ended up being interested in one place. But there were several places that I found that I could have afforded, that I could have hooked a washer and dryer up to, and that I could have afforded on my own. But I only actually needed to go look at one place. All of the other ones I managed to dismiss pretty readily because, from what I could see of the ads that I had noticed of them, they were not in the right location for me, or they just did not have the space that I needed to do Reiki, or they did not have the washer and dryer hookups. So, out of all of these places, there was only one that I really had my heart set on. So I went to see it, and it has the perfect place to do Reiki. It's a larger one-bedroom apartment with a really big kitchen. So I had to figure out a way, after I seen this apartment and knew that I really wanted it, I had to figure out a way to manifest the money that I needed to be able to get this apartment. I had to pay $650 for 1 month's rent at my old place, all by myself because my roommates had already moved out. And that was already stretching the budget pretty hard on what I make. And on top of that, in the same month, I had to come up with $1,000 just to move into this apartment. But I managed to be able to wait until the next time I got paid to sign the lease on the apartment. And that would be the $500 that I needed for the first month's rent to move in. But then I still needed another $500 for the security deposit. So here I am going, oh my God, how the heck am I going to come up with $500 in 2 weeks' time, or 2 or 3 weeks' time here? Money doesn't grow on trees, which is ironic because it's actually paper, and paper is made of trees. So I sat down and I thought up all of the different things that I could do to make this $500 that I needed show up. I also, since I knew that I would be moving, even though I hadn't even been approved for this apartment yet, started going through everything that I owned, and there was a lot of stuff that I owned that was worth money that I had not been using at all. So I started selling everything that I owned that was unnecessary to me at this time. But not enough stuff to warrant $500 worth of sales. I think maybe I earned 250 maybe of that. Maybe 300, I'm not sure. So that still didn't quite cover it. So then I sat down and started thinking, what could I do that would resonate with my soul, with my healing business that I'm trying to start up? And what could I do? What little thing could I do that would help others in my community as far as my healing and my knowledge goes? So one of the things I started doing, since I was already doing glass bottle art craftsy stuff, was starting to make Himalayan salt lamps. And I managed to sell several of those. The other thing that I did was starting to make really cool Tree of Life pendants with crystal bead chips to assist with healing whatever you need. And on top of that, I also started making wire-wrapped crystal pendants, and I've sold several of those. And still doing a little bit of healing services when I manage to have the time between trying to pack up all of my stuff and move and work. And it was about, I would say, 2 weeks before this next time that I got paid when I would be able to come up with the 500, which was half of the money that I needed at this time to get this apartment. And I decided to call up my new landlord for this new apartment and tell him that on that day, even though I didn't even have the money yet and didn't really know exactly how I would be getting it, or if I could get it, I decided to call him up and tell him that I would definitely have the $1,000 that was required to be able to sign this lease. So here I am, not even really knowing exactly where this money would be coming from, but giving myself a deadline of when it would be manifested into my life. So I started making all these crystal pendants, these crystal Tree of Life pendants, and these Himalayan salt lamps with glass bottles, which are really, really cool. And in what little spare time I had, trying to make healing appointments and do healing services for people. One of the very important things to figure out when you are trying to manifest things is to absolutely not stress about it. The most important thing, after the 3 rules that I already said, only ask for what you need that will help you be your own personal highest, best person, and be grateful for what you already have and be grateful for what you get, is do not let doubt or fear creep in. Absolutely do not. When you are trying to manifest things into your life, you have to remain absolutely positive. Absolutely, beyond any shadow of any doubt, know for a fact that it will happen. You have to keep your own faith. You have to know that the universe is supporting you when you ask for it for things that you need to live the life that you were meant to be your personal, or to become your own best person. When you ask the universe to assist you in becoming the highest version of yourself that is possible for you, the universe will help you. The universe wants you to be this highest version of yourself. Whenever little doubts like this start happening in your mind, tell them, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and go away. I know this is going to happen. I know the universe is supporting me. I know that this is what I need and this is what I am going to get. Simply because this is what you need to become the highest possible version of yourself. When you ask the universe to assist you with things that you need to become the highest possible version of yourself, the universe will give it to you. It may not be how you thought that it would happen, but it will happen. So here comes the next rule. Be completely open-minded and completely resourceful. Exhaust every possible resource that you can think of and then some. And keep a completely open mind as to how this is going to come about. Because the universe does not work the way you think it does. Yes, the universe wants to support you in your own personal effort in becoming the highest possible version of yourself. But it does it in its own way. Not the way that you think it's going to happen. Not the way that you necessarily wanted it to happen. Like for me personally, I did not want my roommates to suddenly ditch me and move. But I wanted a space where I could do healing services. What I ended up getting was a place of my own where I wasn't dependent on roommates to help me pay my rent or my bills, and a space in which to do Reiki, which was really what I needed and what I wanted for me to become my own highest possible person. So I got exactly what I needed, but not exactly the way that I wanted it to happen. So my message to everyone watching who wants to learn how to manifest is to stay absolutely positive. To only ask for things that you need for you to become the highest possible version of yourself, and to be absolutely humble, not egoistic, not demanding, not spoiled. You must stay absolutely positive, and you must work your butt off getting what you want. And you must only ask for things that you really truly need for you to live up to your own highest potential. While I needed far more than $1,000 to magically manifest itself so that I could have stayed caught up on all of my bills instead of having to wait a whole entire month before I could afford to pay any of them, and spend several months here in the upcoming future, this month and next month I'm sure, trying to get caught up on bills, I only asked for just enough money, just barely enough money, to be able to sign the lease for this new apartment. And that was exactly what I got. Just barely enough money to be able to scrape by. because honestly, that was all that I really did need. And I am ever so grateful that it happened. I am so happy about this new place that I just barely finished moving into. I really love it. And it's so nice to have a space of my own after, say, 4 years of having roommates. And I am so happy that it's in the ideal location, that it's at the ideal price that I can afford on my own, and that it has a space for me to be able to do my healing services in it. So I got everything that I really truly needed. But it's also very important to keep a completely open mind about how this is all going to come about. Because the universe does not give you things in the way that you necessarily want it to. It gives you things that you need for you to become your own highest version of yourself. It assists you with changing your life for the better. And it assists you with your own life when you're trying to, or you're feeling drawn to, reconnecting with your own soul essence. When you are on a spiritual journey and you are reconnecting with your soul and you are trying to change your life so that your life will start representing who you really are. So you must remain completely open-minded about how this is going to happen. Don't narrow yourself. Don't narrow your options. Use every single possible resource that you know of or that you can discover. And just trust and believe that it's going to happen. So now let me move on to the difference between being a subconscious creator and being a conscious creator. Because as I said in the beginning of this video, I'll just do a quick little recap for those who didn't catch it or forgot already. Your deepest, darkest thoughts on what you need, plus how you feel deep down, your deepest, darkest feelings about that thought equals your reality. Whether or not you realize it, you are a creator. You are creating everything that you currently have in your life. You have manifested it into being. So, how do we go from being a subconscious creator and not really realizing how it is that we are making certain things come about in our life to becoming a conscious creator and being completely aware of what we are making happen in our lives? And in fact, being able to plan what we want to happen in our life. How do we intentionally manifest consciously and create what we want to happen within our life. So, to become a conscious creator and to be completely aware of what we are bringing forth in our lives, we must pay close attention to how we feel and what we are truly thinking. And to become a conscious creator, we have to get very, very good at setting intentions. For instance, I'm going to use a twin flame instance here. If you say that you want to manifest more love within your twin flame relationship, and then you embody it, and then you send them messages of love, and then they send you something back that is not very loving or not very nice or not very kind, and then you just give up just like that, or get hurt or discouraged or triggered, and then you start reacting to them from a space that is not loving, then you are not consciously creating what you want. In order to consciously create what you want to happen, you have to set the intention, and you have to keep embodying this intention and keep embodying the positive thoughts and the positive feelings about it, no matter what is actually going on. Only then will you manage to bring more love into your twin flame relationship. So, when you put all of this into a diagram of manifesting other things into your life, it works exactly the same. When you are trying to manifest something into your life, no matter what it is, you have to remain absolutely positive about it. You have to embody what you want to have happen. And you have to keep reacting to your life and to the universe in such a way that represents your faith that it is going to happen. Like in my twin flame example, you can't send them love and then when they don't send love back, get all hurt and discouraged or triggered and then stop sending them love. If you truly want more love, you have to keep sending it until they come around and they start being loving to you. You have to consciously create what you want to happen by becoming what you want to happen. So these are all of my tips on how to manifest things and how to become a conscious creator. I hope it helps you. I hope that you too can learn to manifest. You and the universe can become one with one set intention, which is helping you become the best person and the best, highest possible version of yourself that you can be in this lifetime. Blessings and love and light to all of you. And always remember, you are loved.